Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. I am Reverend Stephen, minister of this congregation. Thank you for joining us this morning as we gather once again, a spiritual community that seeks to be diverse and inclusive as we inspire love, work for justice, and grow together in community.
Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rain that falls. Our world is one world. Thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make a bridge or a wall. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The ways we spend, the ways we share, who are the rich and poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many holds, but where our hearts can hear a different call. This is all of our world, all of our world. It's all of our world. Yes, this is all of our world. It's all of our world. It's all of our world. This is all of our world.
One of my all-time favorite hymns is Wake Now My Senses. The lyrics are deep and meaningful. The music is lovely, and I just love singing it. It's a call to engage all of our self, mind, body, and spirit in the work of justice and compassion for humanity and the earth. It is a call to action. Hear the earth call. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Take as your neighbor, both stranger and friend. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Our ministry begins in church, but must be taken out into the world and shared. Today is Shared Ministries Sunday. Service is an integral and oh so important part of making this church community function. I am called to serve because of my commitment to making this beloved community the best place it can be. I want to share my gifts and talents with others, and I want to learn about myself, about other members of this congregation, and about the community we share. Service is a gift that gives in two directions. I feel that I've contributed to the greater good of this church, while at the same time, I have a sense of pride that I've given some small part of myself to others. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. We all have gifts to give. How are you called to serve? Come, let us worship together.
We join Unitarian Universalists across the country in lighting a chalice, an invitation to continue our ongoing search for the light of truth within us and among us, a light to guide us on our journey as a community toward freedom, and a reminder that we are all interconnected in the great web of existence of which we are each a beloved part. Now, as I light our shared chalice, I invite you to light your home chalice. Would you join in the words of our congregational covenant? We affirm that each life has brilliance, and when joined with others in joyful community, has the power to transform. We pledge ourselves and our resources to this journey. This covenant inspires and challenges us to dwell together in right relationship. We promise to extend hospitality, nurture community for all ages, encourage spiritual growth, honor diversity, and practice kindness. It is important in our lives to take time to connect with the spirit of life and love, that glowing ember at the heart of all things. In connecting with what we know as mystery, we are renewed. In that spirit, let's enter a time of stillness together. One of our hymns says that life has its sorrows, struggles, and regrets. But in the shadows, let us not forget, we know each other's pain, and as we offer kindness, we heal. In that spirit, let's take time now to share the sorrows, the struggles, and the losses we've experienced this week. We use the chat box to do that, and I'll read them. We continue to send healing energy and prayers to our music director, Hal Walker. Katie Curtis shares, I lost a friend to COVID after a long battle in the ICU. Katie, we're holding you in our hearts as you grieve and remember your friend. Julie Grant shares, great grandmother Helen Wolski passed away this week at age 95. May you find comfort and peace as you grieve and you remember her life. Jenny Horvath shares, my family lost a good friend this week. We're holding you in our hearts as well as you grieve and remember them, Jenny. Mike Darnell says a close friend is recovering from a breakthrough case of COVID. May he heal. May they heal. Becky Haynes says, I am seeing a cardiologist due to a new development, and Bob's brother has advanced melanoma. We're holding all of you in our hearts and praying for healing and peace. Lane Bowen shares that my employee Deb, who was admitted to the hospital with post-COVID blood clots in her lungs, may she find healing. Raven Luna, Black Raven, ask for healing prayers to my cousin Isabel Luna and Alyssa Lamb. Our prayers go out for their healing and their peace. Vivian Sandlin shares that a friend is in hospice. May they know comfort and peace, and may you as well, Vivian. Let's join now in a spirit of reflection and prayer. Spirit that is love and life, mystery that is holding us all in the embrace of love and care. We hold before you those we've named this morning, those who are in our hearts and minds, and all those who are struggling in any way, who are sick, suffering, facing addiction, facing abuse, facing anything that is difficult. We pray for strength and peace and comfort. We also hold before you our yearning. Spirit, we yearn to know what's going on, to make sense of life in these times, for stability. We yearn to find our way through the challenges that face us. And at the same time, we yearn for changes in our world, an end to racism and injustice and cruelty and oppression. As we hold these yearnings in our hearts, Spirit, hold us. May we, as a people of faith, find compassion, strength, and comfort as we continue this mysterious journey in these strange times. And so we pray. We've had struggles this week. We've had joys, moments that have filled our spirits with delight. let's use the chat box to share those now. As we do, we want to remember Mary Mask, who is adjusting to the care facility where she's now living. We think of her and send her our love. And what others are there? Colleen Taylor says, proud of my brave kiddo. Lola went on their own to Girl Scout camp for the first time this weekend. Yay. Lori Merkin McGee, celebrating my granddaughter Jade's 10th birthday today. A happy day to her. I want to extend a warm welcome to Christy Anderson, who has returned from her travels and is with me. We're going to honor her shortly. Thank you for these joys we've shared. For even in the midst of the pandemic, there are opportunities to celebrate life and to live fully. So into that spirit, with gratitude for all the gifts of life, for one another, for this community, we say together, Amen.
Good morning. Our story today is Maybe Something Beautiful. How art transformed a neighborhood. Let's begin. Maybe Something Beautiful is written by F. Isabel Campoy and Teresa Howell and is illustrated by Rafael Lopez. In the heart of a gray city, there lived a girl who loved to doodle, draw, color, and paint. Every time she saw a blank piece of paper, Mira thought to herself, maybe. And because of this, her room was filled with color and her heart was filled with joy. On her way to school one day, Mira gave a round apple to Mr. Henry, the owner of the shop down the street. She gave a flower to Ms. Lopez, the lady with the sparkling eyes. She gave a songbird to Mr. Sachs and a red heart to the policeman who walked up and down the streets. On her way home, Mira taped a glowing sun onto the wall in the shadows. Her city was less gray, but not much. The next day, Mira saw a man with a pocket full of paintbrushes. He gazed at the wall, he looked at her son, and he held up his fingers in a square and peered through them. He said thoughtfully. What do you see? Mira asked. Maybe something beautiful, the man replied. Then just like that, he dipped a brush in the paint. Bam, pow, the shadows scurried away and the sky blue cut through all of the gloom, and the man's laughter was like a rainbow spreading across the sky. Who are you? Mira asked. I'm an artist, he said, a muralist. I paint on walls. I'm an artist too, she told him. He handed Mira a brush. Well, then come on. Mira dipped it into the loudest color she saw. Yah-wee! The wall lit up like sunshine. As the man drew pictures on the bricks, Mira added color, punch, and pizzazz. Soon, Mr. Sachs joined in. Then came others. Everyone painted to the rhythm, salsa, merengue, and bebop. Even Mira's mama painted and danced the cha-cha. The whole neighborhood became a giant block party until the policeman walked up. Excuse me, he said. The music stopped. Mira put her brush down. They were surely in trouble. The officer cleared his throat, then paused. May I paint with you? He asked. So Mira handed him a paintbrush and the music started again. Teachers and papas joined in, babies too. Mira and the man handed out brush after brush, and color spread through the streets, and so did joy. Wherever Mira and the man went, art followed like the string of a kite. After they colored the walls, they painted utility boxes and benches. They decorated sidewalks with poetry and shine, and everyone danced. Together, they created something more beautiful than they had ever imagined. When their clothes were spattered with millions of colors, everyone sat down to rest, except the muralist. His eyes sparkled. You, my friends, you are all artists, he told them. The world is your canvas. He smiled wide, then pulled everything together in a big sweeping motion, his paintbrush like a magic wand. And when he was finished, Mira added one more bird way up in the sky. Maybe, she thought, just maybe. The end. So this is a true story. The illustrator of this book, Rafael Lopez, along with Candace, his spouse, is a real muralist, and this happened in his own neighborhood in San Diego. He was so inspired by his neighborhood that he started the Urban Art Trail, and they gather volunteers to revive neighborhoods and towns with art. And it has spread far and wide. Communities throughout the United States, Australia, Canada, and beyond have all started and implemented models of community-based art to beautify their towns. Have you ever noticed the painted utility boxes in Kent? Or the poetry painted on buildings? Or what about the yarn wrapped around the bike path, the bike racks downtown? They make me smile when I see them. All of this is a result of the original project. What I like most about this story is the work of Rafael Lopez, and it's that everyone is invited. Everyone is an artist and everyone creates. Everyone pitches in. Kind of sounds like a certain community I know. So this week, as we celebrate the shared ministry of this congregation, I hope that you will take a moment to notice all of the beauty around you. Think about who could have created it and how it makes you feel inside. And then I wonder, will you join in the creation of something beautiful?
A church is people. It is not a body of belief, a set of principles, or an impressive structure of stone, wood, and glass. In a church, there are those who are practical about institutional needs, as well as the needs of the human family. There are people who understand our interdependent web of existence, those who can share the poetry they find in the stars, and those who can circulate a petition to save the wetlands. There are those who can speak out against nuclear madness, and those who can remember that the roof needs mending. Churches need people who can feed the hungry of the world and people who can feed the hunger deep within the souls of those gathered. A church is composed of people who continue in the long procession, knowing that others will follow, others for whom they must make a better world, to whom they owe a heritage of carefully examined discoveries and challenging possibilities. A church is a granite base and a silken web, a crystal ball and a cup of fire.
In the reading, Janet Bowering said, a church is people. The church is all of us, each bringing our unique gifts and passions, answering the call from deep within ourselves to serve one another and the world. This is shared ministry, today's theme, and is an important part of what we gather in community to do together. But rather than me talk about shared ministry for the next 10 minutes, the Hobbs Hall construction team has put together a special video that will do two things. We get a preview of our new social hall, which is beautiful. It'll inform you about some of the many ways we already practice shared ministry, and I hope it will inspire you about some of the possibilities we've envisioned for our future. So let's roll the video.
Hello! Our new building, Hobbs Hall, is almost finished. Come, let's take a look inside. Here we have our entry vestibule where you'll be warmly greeted.
Hi, Andrew. Welcome. Please come in. Let me show you around.
And this is our new library. Oh, Blaine, what are you doing here?
I was just reading this great book. It's taken me a long time, and I had to go back and reread sections for greater clarity. But I'm near the end now, and someday soon, the library will have shelves filled with reading materials, a meeting table, and chairs.
That's great, Blaine. Have you seen Katie?
Andrew, Katie's behind the camera filming.
Hey, Katie. Hey, Blaine. You look lonely.
Yeah, it's kind of empty in here right now. But someday soon, there'll be tables and chairs, thanks Furnishings Committee, and a big screen and a sound system, thanks Brad. So we can have coffee hours and dinners and concerts and yoga maybe, community events and auctions and movie night and maybe even bingo.
Bingo? Now that sounds exciting.
Hey, have you seen Andrew?
No, I haven't. He's got to be around here somewhere.
Yeah. Andrew, what are you doing?
Oh. Hi, Katie. I'm just checking out our wonderful appliances. We've got a commercial grade fridge, freezer, ice machine, a dishwasher, convection ovens, range, fryer, stainless steel work surfaces, and sinks galore.
Pretty impressive.
Just think about this beautiful pass-through counter and all the amazing food that's going to be served through it. Come on, there's more to see.
And that's why some contend that Slytherin is the best. Oh, hey, Andrew.
What are you doing, Katie?
I'm teaching RE, of course.
You do know these are not real children.
I know, but it can't hurt to practice because someday soon we'll be having real RE with real children and other small events in here. Hey, do you know where Blaine went off to?
I think he went out the back door. Blaine, what are you doing?
I'm trying to take a shower. How do you get this thing to work?
Blaine, that's our electric car charger. Thank you, Cal.
But I really wanted to take a shower.
You can't park in that drive. That's our service entrance. Oh, that's Kay. What's she doing here? Nice to see you.
Hey, Andrew. I was just doing some final calculations. As it stands right now, we are on track to finish within our planned budget.
That's great news. Thank you for handling our finances. And did I mention that we have designated accessible parking and an accessible walkway all around the building?
All the way around the building?
Yes, all the way around the building. But let's go inside. There's more to see. We have 4 individual restrooms.
Hey, some privacy here.
Whoops. Well, our next restroom has a shower in it.
Hey, a little privacy, please.
Oh, our mistake. Well, Blaine did want to shower. Next, we have our utility room. Hi, Katie.
Blaine, is this your laundry?
Well, I guess he wanted to do that too.
Well, someday soon, we will have a washer and dryer here for tablecloths and linen, so nobody will have to take those things home anymore.
Well, what are these things on the walls, Katie?
Well, Andrew, here we have a fire alarm panel, a lighting control panel, electrical panels, data connections, a water heater, and space for future solar equipment.
That's fantastic. Hey, where did Blaine run off to?
I don't know, maybe he went outside.
No one to play with, Blaine?
No, sadly. But someday very soon, there'll be a children's play area, furniture for gathering, and guess what? Beautiful plantings by the landscape committee.
I'm confident it will all come together.
I hope so. What's Reverend Stephen doing?
Looks like he's deep in thought.
Andrew, hi. Katie, hi.
Hi.
Reverend Stephen, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about the years we've been dreaming of this building and how it's almost finally done. There have been delays because of the pandemic, you know. We've had to wait for some of our kitchen equipment because there have been disruptions to the global supply chain. And there are still things to do. We need to landscape, and there's wiring for our network equipment. And then the inspections, of course, so we can get our occupancy permit. It'll happen, I know, but it's exciting too. I think about all the shared ministry we can do together. The congregation has lots of ideas.
Shared ministry? Isn't ministry your job, Reverend Stephen?
Katie, shared ministry means that we all have gifts and ways we can help our congregation thrive, serve each other, and care for our world. I can't do it all. Can you imagine me trying to sing in the choir, teach religious education, lead the service, do social justice work, clean the kitchen, care for the gardens, keep up the library, run the annual pledge campaign, and all the other things we do together? Our congregation is thriving because all of us pitch in and help. That's shared ministry, just like we're doing right now. And someday soon, we'll be doing more great things together.
Someday, very soon. We're rolling.
Hi. Welcome to Hobbs Hearth.
Let's start over.
And go.
Well, no, I can wait. Well, whatever.
You need to wait till this the siren is done.
Hey, have you seen Katie?
No, I haven't.
Katie's behind the camera filming.
Let's go find her.
She's everywhere.
Where's that Katie? What are you thinking about, Reverend Stephen? How great it is to have a sidewalk connecting to the north parking lot? We've got a commercial grade fridge, refrigerator. Let's do that differently. We've got a...
And we'll be able to have air-conditioned services and coffee hours and dinners and concerts and yoga and movie night and maybe even yoga. Oh shoot. Maybe even yoga. Oh, there are too many things on my list.
Yoga 2 nights a week.
Someday, very soon.
Oh, that was terrible.
All right, okay. Great. That was our dress rehearsal.
What fun. We had a lot of fun putting that together, and I want to thank Andrew, Katie, and Blaine for a great job and the opportunity to do that. So we're continuing our journey together, a community of memory and possibility. And I want to invite you now to reflect on your gifts and passions. What makes you feel most alive, the things you feel called to do. And I invite you, as you think about that, to wonder about how you will continue to share your gifts, your energy, your time, and your love with this community so that together we do continue to thrive and we're a beacon of hope and love for our world. Let's do this together.
Community ministry is care for the world outside the walls of the local congregation. Community ministry has deep roots within our Unitarian Universalist movement, dating back to Joseph Tuckerman's pioneering work among the poor of Boston in the 1820s. Community ministers serve our movement in many ways. Some community ministers work independently. Others serve an organization outside a congregation, and some others form a bridge between congregations and secular organizations. A community minister's service may be as a chaplain in hospitals, in hospices, at prisons, on campuses, in police departments, or in the military, as spiritual director, pastoral counselor, street minister, social justice advocate, UU legislative minister, or as educators, journalists, UUA field staff, art ministers, or nonprofit administrators.
Our bylaws say that an affiliated community minister serves a ministry in the community and has been educated and ordained by a suitably credentialed and recognized denomination or credentialed ordaining body. Today, in recognition of her training, ordination, and service to this congregation and the greater community, and as affirmed by a vote of this congregation, we commission and recognize Christy Anderson as an affiliated community minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. Christy, this congregation desires to commission and charge you as an affiliated community minister. Do you accept this commissioning and its responsibilities and privileges?
I do.
Will the congregation please join in the words of commissioning?
We, the members and friends of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent, do hereby commission you, Christy Anderson, as an affiliated community minister. We charge you to serve this congregation and the greater Kent community, guided by our principles and values, remembering that you represent this community in the world.
With gratitude and joy, I humbly take up the ministry to which you commission me. For every person I am called to serve, I promise to deeply listen to them, help to empower them, and will work to instill justice. I promise that in all ways, I will embody principles and the values of this congregation and Unitarian Universalism with love, graciousness, humility, and passion.
Christy, we present you with a stole lovingly made by the Socially Responsible Sweatshop. It's a symbol of the authority and trust placed in you by this congregation. May it remind you of the promises you have made this day and your calling to serve this congregation and the greater Kent community.
Christy, I affirm your commissioning as an affiliated community minister. I offer you my support and collegiality. I bless you, and I wish you peace, joy, and grace in your ministry. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. Thank you, congregation.
Now let's raise our hands in celebration. We've spoken this morning about our shared ministry and how we thrive in our worship life, our community, and all our ministries because of the gifts of money, time, and care each of you so generously give. Thank you. We also help others in our community thrive by giving to agencies and organizations in Kent and beyond to serve those in need. In September, we were taking up a special offering for the Unitarian Universalist Service Emergency Response Fund call for the Haiti earthquake. The UUSC is in contact with long-term grassroots partners to support them as they respond to the most urgent needs, especially in communities facing oppression and lack of access to resources and services. In the spirit of gratitude for the gift of one another and this community, the abundance that makes generosity possible, let's now give and receive the offering as a sign of our shared commitment to the life and work of this congregation and beyond.
May our living be the light of justice. May our hearts be the burning within this life as bright as love in the distance. Only the work of justice is this light at the end of the tunnel. The road is long and the traveling slow, but we don't have to walk this road all alone. Well, Lord, I pray that every woman and man could be walking with a brother, holding hand in hand. Maybe walking with a sister, holding hand in hand. May our living be the light of justice. May our hearts be the burning within this life as bright as love in the distance. Only the work of justice is this light at the end of the tunnel. We are one in the work and love, and we walk on till the work's done. If we may change as the road moves on, and the people on the way sing a joyful song. Everybody on your way, sing a joyful song. May our living be the light of justice. May our hearts be the burning within this life as bright as love in the distance. Only the work of justice is this light at the end of the tunnel. May our living be the light of justice. May our living be the light of goodness. May our living be the light at the end of the tunnel.
Now, to bring this time to its close, would you join me in extinguishing the chalice? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. May we carry these in our hearts and minds until we are together again. Let's join in singing our closing hymn, We Shall Be Known.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now. What a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Here we go. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It's time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
These are the words of Rebecca Parker. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. Any of these can serve to feed the hungry, bind up wounds, welcome the stranger. Any of these can also be used to draw down the prison door, to hoard bread, or abandon the poor. You must answer this question. What will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world. Together, that is another possibility, waiting. And now, knowing we each have gifts we can use to bless our world, and renewed in our commitment to use our gifts to serve one another, this community, and the world, for this is the work of shared ministry. Let us go forth in peace and in hope to continue inspiring love, seeking justice, and growing in community. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. And I see the light shining brightly in you.